imagine being in paradise, among luxurious and unspoiled nature, beaches of all types and colors, medieval castles, sinuous hills, ancient villages, and much more. Welcome to Tuscany. In this second part of our travel guide dedicated to Tuscany, the first part can be found here. We will discover another part of this incredible region: nature, landscapes, hills, villages, castles, and much more await you. ELBA Island is an island of infinite beauty. It's a kaleidoscope of colors, flavor, and scents. ELBA is a highly evocative place where nature reigns supreme. A small treasure chest of the Tuscan archipelago, where a few kilometers away, green beaches alternate with granite mountains, green woods, hidden lakes, and lunar-looking mines. A true naturalistic paradise kissed by the sea. It embodies the charm and exclusivity of a pure and uncontaminated territory in which there are countless historical and cultural testimonies of illustrious characters and people with distant origins. Fortresses, churches, parish churches, villas and small villages perched on the hills. The island of ELBA never ceases to amaze. Exploring it means discovering unique and exciting experiences. Every small village, every path in nature, every fortress from the top of its magnificence invites you to enter and discover its true essence. There are also various opportunities to practice outdoor sports and activities in nature. Time and history, art and lifestyle, people and their stories over millennia. This is VOLTERRA. VOLTERRA, which has been known as the Etruscan and Roman capital, the pearl of medieval art, the crossroads of peoples, and the treasure chest of works of art, dominates the beauty, intact, and poignant territory of the Val di Cecina. The city, with its stunning panorama in the succession of squares and tower houses, churches and walls, cliffs and gardens, extends to the sea, where the blue of the Tyrrhenian Sea merges surprisingly with the green of fields and cliff of the olive trees and vines. VOLTERRA awaits you, noble and superb, mysterious and magical, lovely and fun to enchant you immediately. It is practically impossible to explore Tuscany without visiting the Chianti region, a favorite destination for food and wine tourists and an ideal place for road trips. While traveling by car, let yourself be inebriated by the panorama that you have always seen in photos or postcards. Green hills kissed by the sun, drawn by kilometers and kilometers of row of vines and olive groves, and dotted with suggestive medieval villages. There are many places to see in this area, but to start, go to the Chianti Classico area, the oldest and most authentic area in the region. Start from Greve, considered the gateway to Chianti. Continue toward Panzano, famous for its castle, then Castellina, with its very ancient Etruscan tombs, and the imposing Rocca and Radda, whose medieval walls still protect the city center. Not far from Radda, you will find Gaiole, surrounded by castles and fortified fortresses. And finally, in the southernmost part of the region, Castelnuovo Berardenga, known for its Vicolo dell'Acqua. Take the time to linger in these villages of ancient charm, breathing in the air of times gone by, and of course, taste the wines and savor the local delicacies in the cellars or farms that you will find along the way. The majestic Apuan Alps frame the splendid Versilia. Beyond them, about an hour's drive from Forte dei Mammi, lays the beautiful Garfagnana area, a land full of medieval villages, imposing fortresses, spectacular caves, and natural reserves. Garfagnana contains pearls of rare beauty, from ancient buildings to natural landscapes. The offer of beauty to admire is wide and varied. The best known places are Castelnuovo, famous for its Rocca Aiostesca, and Barga, included in the list of the most beautiful villages in Italy and which boasts the recognition of Slow City. But Garfagnana is not only this. With spectacular caves and natural reserves, it offers an abundance of opportunities for hiking, trekking, or mountain biking enthusiasts. One of these is represented by the Orecchiella Park, a 5-hectare reserve populated by chestnut, pine and fir trees, and where it is possible to walk along numerous paths with varied level of difficulty. For the serious adventurer, the park is home to the Grotta del Vento, one of the most spectacular cast caves in the Apuan Alps. It is an intricate cave system that develops inside the Piana Secca, and in which the erosive force of the water has created stalactites, stalagmites, alabaster draperies, and many other formations with the most bizarre shapes. If when you think of Tuscany, you imagine its sinuous hills with a few solitary cypresses in the middle, or endless golden fields with vales lying here and there, you are thinking of the Val d'Orcia. Located in the southern Tuscany, it is dominated by Monte Amiata and extends between the provinces of Siena and Grosseto, and derives its name from the river Orcia that crosses it. Since 2004, its magnificent landscape has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Among the municipalities that make up the Val d'Orcia Natural Artistic Park, Montalcino stands out. Home to some of the most appreciated Italian wines in the world, such as the famous Brunello, and Pienza, considered the incarnation of the Renaissance utopia of the ideal city. An unmissable stop along the way for lovers of Instagram-ready shots is the famous hill along the Via Cassia, with the most photographed group of cypresses in Tuscany. Home to medieval villages, hills, and dream beaches is Maremma. This region in southern Tuscany is a territory with 1,000 faces, all extraordinary. Here is the itinerary that we propose for you to discover this region. Start from Grosseto, the largest city in Maremma, where you can admire the Medici Fortress, the Gothic Cathedral, the Church of San Francisco, and the Maremma Natural History Museum. Following the coast road, you can visit renowned seaside resorts such as Orbetello, or go to the convent of the Passionists on the summit of Monte Argentario to enjoy the incredible panorama of the lagoon. Inland, you will find Pitigliano, a small jewel suspended on a gigantic tuff rock called Little Jerusalem for the historical presence of the Jewish community. Finally, a couple of stops that should be included on anyone's itinerary in Maremma is Saturnia, where one can visit the Etruscan necropolis, and for a relaxing holiday, one can enjoy the famous thermal bath. A beautiful hill region, it extends between the provinces of Siena and Florence, and is dotted with historic villages and castles that rise along the river. Let's find out about some of them. It is impossible not to get to know this city, where the time seems to have stopped. Famous for its architecture, it is often referred to as the Manhattan of the Middle Ages. At the time of its maximum splendor, it was bristling with 74 towers, built by the noble families of the time as a symbol of power. Although only 14 remain today, the medieval atmosphere that reigned fascinates tourists from all over the world, and not surprisingly, the city has been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Finally, we move to the Florentine Val d'Essa to reach the city that gave birth to Boccaccio. It is one of the most picturesque villages in Tuscany, and due to its beauty, it has obtained the orange flag of the Italian Touring Club. Among the most popular attractions are the Palazzo Pretorio, the Poet's House, and the Church of Santi Jacopo and Filippo. Valdoccia, the Chianti area, and Maremma are just some of the areas hosting the production of some of the most renowned and famous Italian wines in the world. In the last part, we will discover the wine tour about the best Tuscan wines to experience at least once in a lifetime. Watch it now!